everybody. I am so excited about our sponsor for this month, the Experience Live with Russ and Scott. It's the Gillette Home Team and Laura Gillette. How are you doing, Laura?
I'm doing wonderful.
That is so awesome. You know, the Gillette Home Team is doing so much in real estate. Give us a snapshot of what you're up to.
Awesome. Well, last year we were able to help 551 families either buy or sell real estate. We love our community. We love our clients. Our mission is to deliver the keys to home ownership through stellar customer service, integrity, and joy. And we're looking to help even more folks this year.
That is so awesome. You know, if you want a team that is there for you, is the Gillette Home Team and Laura Gillette. And thanks so much, Laura, for your sponsorship.
Hey.
Good morning, everybody. All
Hello,
right.
Russ.
I have a different look here. Oh, there we go. Woo! Okay. So good to see you, Mr. Scott. A little hampered this morning, but you're looking good.
Well, thanks. I'm excited because I got I got a little frog in my throat this morning, but but we'll get through. But I'm excited because I just got back from my first trade show since the Toy Fair in New York, February of 2020. And I tell you, I love trade shows. I missed them. And I was glad to be down in Nashville at the National Association of Music Merchants. And, you know, some of the people were saying that they're calling it NAM Light, right? National Association of Music Merchants, NAM. They called it NAM Light because there were fewer people there than in years past. But the way I look at it, even if you doubled the number of people there, I could still only have the same number of conversations. So
that's true.
I had a great time.
Well, I am so glad that you did. You know, there's so many times like that where you have great opportunities and to get out and meet new people and look at all that's going on, especially now that we're actually able to see people in person. That is always a big, huge plus. I'm super excited today. I actually get to do a workshop in person. I actually get to go to a networking event in person. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah,
I even spoke in person last week. I had a great speaking engagement last week, and that was awesome. So yeah, I mean, it's that we just have to mold and move with what's going on, right?
Absolutely.
There you go. Well, and speaking of molding and moving, you know, we have got some great guests today. Our good
indeed.
friend, what?
We do indeed. I'm excited.
Yes, I am too. I could tell the excitement is building in your voice. I got it. So we have Loryn Copley, who is a good friend, and I'm so glad to have her on here. She's been on my other shows and such a wonderful, wonderful person. And Stephen Hodges, he is from our area, even right here in good old Corvallis, Oregon. And so we're super excited to have him as well. I think, Scott, we're just going to let everybody know what's going on and then let them jump in. I want to remind you all that this is every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. We are here live. Wherever you are, join us because we love to have people interacting with our show. And so we love to have you here. So if you're able to join us 7 a.m., be there. If not, you can always watch on replay. You can always get in there and you can still share it with your friends. You can still join in the fun and make comments. And we'd love to have you. So anyway, I think without any further ado, we're going to bring in Loryn. We told her ladies first. So she's going to tell us all about what she's got going on. There she is, smiling as always.
Hi, everyone. Russ and Scott, thank you so much for having me here on the show. And I'm just excited to contribute and bring motivation and positivity and most of all hope, during these next chapters in life that people are experiencing.
You know, that's what I love about you so much. When I say, hey, I need some people to bring some positivity and some light to things, Loryn's like, that's me. I'm here. Let's do it. Yep. So I just appreciate you coming in. Hey, I know so much about you already, but not everybody else does. So let's just give you the floor. Tell everybody about who you are and what you're up to.
Well, My name, everybody, as you know, is Loryn Copley, and my mission is really to empower professionals, like each and every one of you watching the show today, is to help you to diversify your income and your opportunities. We had I'm going to read some stats last year. With all this anxiety that people are feeling when they go back to work. Harvard Business Review said that 80% of professionals are having anxiety about going back to work. 65% don't want to go back. And then we have 58% of respondents stating that they would leave their job if they were forced to return, because this past year, it disrupted how we thought about how we were living our life and what we might have been missing because we were working too much. So I've just been, I'm partnered with a company, and I've been streamlining and strategizing and restructuring a B2B sales system with a viral product. So if there's anybody out there that's looking for a 1099 opportunity with a product that's going to be launching in Europe on July 29th, it's in the beauty and anti-aging and wellness space. I'm your gal, girls and gentlemen. This is a ground floor opportunity with a 20-year company. So it's really exciting.
Well, that is super exciting. And right now, I love what you talked about, the transition of how people are trying to, I was just talking to Scott about that as well before you came on, and about people transitioning from COVID into what's going on now and being motivated to move forward. Some people have dealt with it real positively, which obviously you have, and other people have not done so well. So with all that you're doing, how are you helping people? What are you doing to continue to spread that positivity?
Well, I think it's relatability, because I was in this a challenging space 20 years ago. I was laid off from my job, and I couldn't find work. And that was my aha moment. So the biggest thing that I found in these last 18 months was that my story, the hardest times back then enabled me to relate and help so much more. So those challenging times are often our biggest gifts, and that's really what I try and bring to people, and just show them, that they're learning experiences and that we can grow through them. And if those things hadn't happened to me, I might not have had this awareness of I need to have a backup plan. So, yeah.
Well, I like what you're talking about, awareness. That is really what, being aware of the situation and really kind of adjusting as we go. You got to learn and grow with what we're dealt in life. And I think that's so important. Scott, I know it's harder for you to jump in this morning.
Yeah, I was thinking about, Loryn, as you were talking about this anxiety that people are having. So last year, of course, with the lockdown, we had our routines disrupted. And then we developed new routines. Now they're ready to disrupt them again. That's hard. Those are hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you were coming on, Scott, I'd actually wrote down something that you said, that when you returned to the trade show, that you were still only limited, right, to the amount of conversations. Well, the opportunity that I'm able to present to people is really, it's not about, because that's kind of like an addition, right? You can only add in so many conversations, where with this opportunity, it's all about multiplying, helping you to multiply your reach, helping people to multiply the conversations. And so I just wanted to acknowledge that. That was a really strong point, because we all often are limited, but when you can be surrounded by a group of people like we have here, our strength multiplies.
So we'll have to make sure we get you the information for the virtual global tea break, which we just had last Friday, which is global networking, mainly people from the US, Canada, Ireland, and the UK.
Oh, excellent.
So we'll definitely get you plugged in there.
Excellent. I appreciate that. And
speaking of multiplying, here comes Mr. Stephen Hodges as we grow. Hey, Stephen, how's it going?
Hey. Okay. Hey, everything's going great. I feel like I'm with a team of big shots being on this show. So I appreciate the invite, Russ. And Loryn, great to hear some insight about COVID. That really resonating with what you're saying about routine. And then, the idea of are we going back to our jobs? Are we going to go back to the way things were, the new normal, all of that stuff. So great insight there, and great to meet you here.
Well, right off the bat, let's just get started and let everybody know. Obviously, Scott and I know you super well, Stephen. Tell everybody who you are and what you're up to, and we'll go from there.
Oh gosh, well, I'm Steven, and I'm probably up to about 6 feet tall. I haven't started shrinking yet, but yeah, that's about what I'm up to. But what I do for my profession, or what I profess to do, your choice, is primarily I teach at Oregon State University. I'm a first-year business instructor, and I also take care of their pre-college programming. So students that are interested in business in high school, I actually go to high school, or like this week, for example, in a couple hours, I'm heading to the Boys and Girls Club in Salem, and we kind of smush together our class series into this really awesome experience for them, and they get college credit, which is amazing. It's really good for the university for marketing, but also Oregon State University has a heart of service, and that's something that's really important to me, is to serve my community. And so I get to go out and do that. Things with like the 4-H and the extension network that we have here in the state of Oregon. So that's great. I've been doing that for, 6 years now. And I've been an educator for about 10 years. I also own a company, and that's where this is right here, Boson Hub Digital Development. Been building websites and doing digital marketing. Actually do some work with Scott, who is wonderful, a great friend and partner with that.
Thank you.
Who's got like the super bass. I wasn't prepared for that this morning. I'm like sitting here like vibrating. I'm like, okay, this morning. And we build digital marketing campaigns. We build a lot of web pages, and through one of the things through COVID is that I've actually been looking at shrinking the business, and we have been shrinking the business because I have a 1-year-old now. So we had a COVID baby, and it's been good. I like having the business because it brings a lot of light to the classroom, and then in the classroom you learn all the new academic stuff that I put into the business. And so we have a great core group of clients that I'll be with for the long term, but I really had to make some adjustments for that. And then finally, we're getting off the ground our empowerment grant. So I'm the board president of the empowerment grant organization by Nerds Abroad. Founded that in 2014. And we give technology and micro grants to entrepreneurs that want to get off the ground. So a partner organization would say, hey, this person has shown a really good track record of being here. And then we would go through a funding process to help get off the ground and make sure that they're supported both financially and with educational services.
Cool. All right. That's a mouthful.
So,
wow.
I do a couple things, 1 or 2 things, or 5. But
so
it's a lot of fun.
I'm suddenly echoing in somebody. There you go. It went away. That's weird. Sometimes that just happens. Was that only me that was echoing? Did you guys hear that?
Was that the positive voices in your head, Russ? Maybe that's the reason why you got so many times like take a selfie. There
you go.
There we go.
I think one of me is plenty sometimes, So anyway, hey, that's what we got to do. We got to take a selfie. I knew I forgot something. Hey, I wanted to take just a second before we move on. Kenneth, this is going to cover you guys up, so I'm putting this in here. Kenneth is such a positive, upbeat guy. He's the savor the flavor guy. Gotta love him. Sending messages in to me and Scott this morning and all of us. And there we go. That's a little bit smaller to Stephen. There you go. Yes, he loves everybody. And here's to Loyrn. There you go. He's making sure that everybody's feeling part of it. So Kenneth, we love you. Thank you for joining in this morning. But so listen, it's interesting because the situation that you're in, Stephen, dealing with both people learning in the classroom and all the stuff you're doing there, and also dealing with the business community is really kind of unique, because a lot of times people in education get kind of hold off and lose track of what's going on in the real world, and vice versa. You probably find that a super benefit, right?
Yeah, and so this is really where things like the global tea break, like Scott was talking about, or being on this podcast and really getting out there and networking. It has been incredibly encouraging to stay in touch with people as best as you can through these means of Zoom, etc. The being in person with my students that I had a couple weeks ago at Oregon State, and then this camp, they're high school students, so it is different. And I actually was I think I was one of the only classes on the Oregon State campus. We were hybrid. So I had anywhere between about 5 and 15 students on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so getting that in-person interaction, it still felt like you could get that connection. And that was very, very helpful. to kind of stay in touch with what it's like to be around other humans. And I've been trolling Scott's social media every single time he's at one of these conferences. I'm like, humans. I think that there is an art, and I'm an extrovert. It's probably not a surprise that you all know that already.
Shocking.
I know, shocking. Color you shock. And so kind of staying in touch. I mean, you had to have such a high amount of intentionality to do that. And as an extrovert, I had to do that. At the same time, there's a lot of things that I actually, there's a lot of other speaking engagements and classes that I taught as a volunteer, and so many other things that I quit because COVID either quit it for me or because, I was preparing to have a kid. And so it's been such an incredibly, it's been a really good structural adjustment in my entire life. But the idea of staying in touch with a very basic skill, like being able to talk and network with each other. I'm incredibly grateful for, Scott, your social media, Russ, this podcast, and also your LinkedIn. It's great. And it's very encouraging because then I get to turn around and be an encouragement as best as I can to the students. And these students, they want to be in person so badly. Yeah. They're just it's so fun. They're so hilarious.
Well, I think you mentioned it, Stephen, that being an extrovert had its challenges because those of us who love to be around people had to be very intentional. Loyrn, I'm sure that you were extroverted, so I'm sure that was challenging for you with all your business.
Oh, it was. I was in front of, I did a lot more screen time, but for sure, because I do so much of my business online and through LinkedIn, and not being able to go out and go out in the evening and just go to a restaurant and socialize. Oh, it was tough, but I think, we as I think Scott said, we learn, we adjust, and we adapt. And it was kind of something every couple of weeks. I knew I was going to get that little, that feeling inside, but just knowing that it was just temporary and that I was going to grow through it. And I think, we all grew through a lot this year. And Stephen, what you shared is what so many people I'm finding are experiencing, that realignment of values and making that family time the focus. So that's beautiful. I love that you're experiencing that.
Yeah, I really am incredibly grateful. And there's a couple of times, especially early on, when we were like, what is this? How people get sick? And, a couple of times where we had get-togethers in the park where it's it's this you're going to be over there and give air hugs and stuff like that. But looking back, that was so corny, but at the same time, it makes me really emotional because we really wanted that connection. And even people that are introverts, just wanted that connection. So I spent more time. I already spent a lot of time outside, but just tons of time outside in crappy weather and in this backyard that we redid where it's just and we literally had lines that we did. I went and visited my parents and they had path of stone where it's just you're going to be over here and you're going to be over there because we wanted that connection. Yeah. And we really connected with what you want to call it, nature or family, or really figured out that we need to connect with one another, either one-on-one because we can't be in large groups, which I'm a large group person. Woo, yeah, I'm just put me and Russ in a room, and oh my goodness, we're gonna bulldoze everyone with happiness. But then I really got on that one-on-one level because I'm gonna go on a walk with my neighbor because they're right there, and we can go on a walk, and it's safe to walk outside with my neighbor or have them over here, and you sit right there and I sit over there. So exactly right. It's been such a good time of learning.
Well, I love what that Loyrn, you said, learn, adjust, and adapt. And that, what you're talking about there, Stephen, is that people that did learn, adjust, and adapt actually did very well. I had to be super intentional because I'm a hug everybody, love everybody, be with everybody kind of person. So, I just first of all, I kept my morning routine. I kept my normal start to the day, and I threw myself into all the networking groups available online. And then we did the same thing. We went walking a lot and did things, would visit family from outside. Actually, we did so much walking when COVID first started that normally, your dog is jumping around. She was all excited to go with us. By about the third or fourth walk, she's looking up at me going, really, again? It's it was I'd outwalk the dog. So it was, it was really a time when you had to learn, adjust. And I like what Loryn also said, the realignment of values that Stephen was talking about. And that phrase, it gave everybody space and time, right? to think about what we were doing and how we were doing it, and maybe we needed to do it differently.
Absolutely. And I chuckled. I'm just going to circle back because I'm the hugger too, Russ. Like when we finally started to like go out even a little bit, my husband, I felt like I was a child with that little leash on my back because I would lunge to go towards people, and my husband would literally like being behind me, pulling my shirt back, like stay away from people. Yeah. So I really relate to that. So
I'm just glad I had my wife here because she got like, I mean, I hug my wife a lot, but it was a whole lot more during that time. I'm like, woo, I hug somebody. So yeah, no, I just think that it was critical for people to take a look at where they were, make and learn and make those adjustments. And, you also, whether it's COVID or whether it's something else, and this last year and a half, we've had a lot of something else's too. You just need to learn to adjust and make the best of it. Doesn't mean life is always super fun and happy and wonderful, everything is happening to us, but we get to choose what we do with it. Thus, live the life you choose. My whole theme of life. I mean, live the life you choose, live what you do with everything that comes at you. And I know you guys are that way too. Scott, I need to help you out because it's hard to get you to jump in.
It was, COVID provided opportunities, right? In every situation, anytime there's a change, there's new opportunities. So what does Stephen and I do? We do virtual events. We do virtual conferences. And it won't be a long-term deal. I think our last one, Stephen's in December? Yeah. On the books, but we helped out. We made some money. They were pleased because they got actually more people to these online conferences than they were to the face-to-face. So with everything, there's an opportunity, but it may not be long. So seize that moment. And that's the great thing about small entrepreneurs, solo entrepreneurs, or small businesses is the big companies, they've got enough cash and resources. They can weather pandemics and shutdowns. Small businesses, you can make those pivots and changes, but you have to be willing to do that.
And open-minded. You got to have an open mind, because if you're not open to thinking differently and maybe acting differently and exploring options, then you're not, the evolution is not going to take place. It's if you're not open, what's going to change?
Yeah, my dad is he's a very second mover advantage. I think that I'm going to say that the nicest way possible. He is wait and wait and wait and wait. And I was incredibly surprised that he said, we have to do something, because I thought that he was going to be someone be like, we're just going to wait this out, because he has a trade show business. And there is no pivoting away from that. And so that's the reason why we had this online event management platform that I built. And then I was like, well, I built this platform, and then Scott's like, oh, here's all the things that we can do with it. And so because my dad was willing to do online events, which was just very surprising, but he did it. And then I was willing to be open, and Scott was just kind of like, let's do this. I'm like, yes, we should. It's just been very fruitful for all of us. And we've been able to, have some sort of semblance of moving conferences forward, having these trade shows, whether it's my dad's business or, there's a wonderful organization called Kizimani that they have a lot of older donors, and for them, it's very difficult for them to get them together. So we're going to be doing their show and their virtual gala in a month, and they raised.
That's right. I forgot. We've got August and December, so more shows coming.
They raised more money last year than they did the year before, and because it cost a quarter to go online or whatever, that's seriously helping their constituents. So. I'm really grateful for things like this, where I'm connected with Scott, and I was willing to be open to it. Scott, you had the connections, and my dad was like, well, let's do this. And it is a pivot, and it helped a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, I think that new learning through this whole process and growing into these things that maybe we would have never done. There's things that a lot of businesses, their hands were forced, like you're talking about your dad. That's not his wheelhouse. He would not have gone to that. there's a fruit stand just outside of Salem where I live, old school fruit stand, little restaurant. They were dying on the vine when it started, and they suddenly decided all of our fruit is going to go to waste if we don't do something. They started delivering fruit baskets. They did more business than they'd ever done because they pivoted and they made a change, and they were willing to do that. And those are the kind of things that people, it's amazing what can actually happen when people do that. So it's been a lot of blessings in the midst of the challenges. And so listen, I need to be the bad guy, as Scott says, and start wrapping things up because we're already at the end of our time. But I want to give you each last word and contact information. Just wanted to say real quickly to hi to Osama. And as Osama always says, he's from Cyprus, actually. And Osama always says, Russ is in the house, but he does it way better than me. So Usama's in the house. There you go. I tried. All right. And then Dorothy is here from up in Canada. Hey, Dorothy, thanks for joining in today. Appreciate you guys. So listen, let's start ladies first again. And Loyrn, you're up.
Well, thank you everybody for that half hour. Again, my mission and my business right now is helping professionals to diversify their income. I have a 1099 opportunity, a B2B system for sharing one little product. That's the best thing. We're talking about reinvention. So many entrepreneurs think that they need to reinvent the wheel, where the system that I have is the products has been developed. The marketing has been developed. All it requires is you to start finding people who want I'm looking for my little product right now. It's this tiny little bottle of amazing. Over 16 million have sold since January. It's viral. It's going into Europe next July 29th. So I'm looking for professionals who are motivated and driven and fun, most of all, that I can partner with, and we can grow an international business together. So. And
how do they get a hold of you, Loyrn?
Thank you. So you can reach me. I'm going to give you all my cell phone number. Text me 570-575-9769. You can find me on LinkedIn, Loryn, Copley. You see it right there. And my email is Loyrn, first name, @moxieminds.com. I'll put it in the chat.
Beautiful.
Yeah, go ahead, and I'll make sure and get that in the show notes as well.
Okay.
And Stephen, you're up.
Well, it's been great to be here with everyone. And Russ, I appreciate it. I know you've had this show now for quite some time, and I appreciate you asking me to be on here. Loyrn, it's great to, what you're saying about having the hustle and diversified income, and also what you were mentioning about, getting out there and pivoting and trying, it's great. So I learned a lot here as well. So thank you very much for that. And then the silent, thank you for the silent vibrations that were coming this way through Scott, and just your, you're reaching nirvana maybe. So I want to be an encouragement to anyone that does want to go and try something. I think that when something big like COVID happens, you get your head pulled out of the sand, and you can kind of get a chance to kind of look around. There is a lot of stuff that's going on, even if you live in a small town like I do. So I live in a small town. I live a little bit away from Corvallis, but Corvallis is really close. Lebanon's really close, and each one of these small towns have really awesome places that you can go and get takeout, or you can support your local business. Like we have an awesome little theater here. There's a state park that's 13 minutes from here. There is a Albany, where I live. There's a lot of tiny parks that are just neighborhood parks. I found that a lot of the really good business opportunities that I took over COVID were thought about and really confirmed during the times that I took the 13 minutes to drive to the park, or during the half an hour that I went and drove to Independence to go get some Thai food there instead of the Thai restaurant downtown. And the times when I'm just hanging out and playing with my kid, it's okay to be broken from your routine, and you can either be mad about it, or you can be ticked off about it, or you can use that as a moment of opportunity. And it can be really, really hard because there's some things that we think that we so desperately want or need in our lives, and those do change. And being able to we call it failing forward in our classes, and to being able to pivot and to being able to hustle and really surround yourself with people that are going to be an encouragement. You want to have the people that are both the tough love people that are going to be kind of like, okay, you need to pull your head out of your or the people that are going to be there to be like, I know that this sucks, that definitely sucks, but keep pushing forward. every once in a while.
Sage advice, Stephen.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
how do we
and-
get a hold of you?
Oh, yeah, and how you get a hold of me. If you want more of this really, really sappy, long-winded, I could go on eloquently and wax eloquently for a long time. But the very best is probably my email address. I will put this down here in the notes. That's Stephen@bosonhub.com. I always give free consulting for anyone who wants to start up their business or who wants to grow. I always give a free hour of consulting. Whole hour of consulting could be split up a couple times. And also LinkedIn, my LinkedIn, just you can see how my name is spelled right here, Stephen Hodges. I look a little bit younger in that picture because I need to update it. And 1-year-olds do not do good things to the color of my beard. Yeah, so Scott's been really teaching me to how to rock a little bit of the salt and pepper and making me feel okay about it. And anytime you want an encouragement, you know you got Russ, but you got me as maybe a backup.
There you go.
Well, we appreciate you so much. And both of you coming on today, what a dose of positivity, which is good for everybody. And, you know, I think right now it's been really good to be super intentional about supporting people locally that are struggling. And I think that's important. We've got to do that. We need to get out there, support local business, uplift other people that are not doing as well as we are. And I think this has been a great for me today. I feel great from just the show today. So I want to tell you both how much Scott and I both appreciate you. I'm saving Scott's voice because, you know, he does have that growly thing going on. My kids call him the radio voice guy. That's what they call him. So yeah, today he's even got a lower voice. So so anyway, hey, listen, I just want to thank you both and to thank everybody for listening today. I'm going to send you both to the green room if you hang tight for just a second. Scott and I will wrap it up. And thank you very much for everything.
See ya.
See you guys. Another Wednesday of motivation and inspiration. I tell you, Loryn and Stephen have got it going on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, are we blessed, Scott, with the greatest people that are coming on our show? I mean, but between the people that are on as guests and the people in the chat that are staying involved, you know, I just appreciate them so much. And yeah, we just have people making great comments already. Appreciate that. And everybody here, don't forget, share this with your friends. Get the word out there to people because, man, there is great content, great information, and we want to share this with the world. So keep sharing.
And connect with each other on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
Have some one-on-one meetings.
There you go. One-on-one is always good.
There you go.
Don't forget, every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, we're here with The Experience, live with Russ and Scott. Until next time.
Cheers. Enjoy the experience.